Okay, so I'm going to do mine real quick. So can we all agree that having a conversation with somebody is like the bread and butter of our business? It's like communication. But would you guys also agree that sometimes you guys get stuck and don't know what to say? We don't know how to open up a conversation, or we're in the middle of a conversation, we don't really know where to go with it. That becomes a problem. And that's why we have the wordage group, and we have the verbiage group, and that way you can copy and paste into that group and can have the leaders help you with what to say. But I still see people 6 months into the business posting the same stuff in that wordage group. And these are things that we should just figure out how to answer on our own by that point. And it's very simple. So what I did, and some of this might not make complete sense until I explain it, but Friday night I sat down and I wrote down the dynamics of a conversation. So I broke down what goes through my head and my thought process when I'm having a conversation with somebody. Now, this is meant to be a cheat sheet for you that you can have in front of you while you're talking to somebody. So right now I want you guys to take notes on this as I speak, but I also posted this in Team Fusion Boston, and so you can download a blank copy, and you can actually download multiple copies, so every time you talk to somebody, you can actually use this as a cheat sheet. A lot of the times... What? Are we all out?
Yeah, I have it already, so.
I know some people got them yesterday. Whoever got them yesterday. I know when I'm on a phone call with someone on a three-way, I love to take notes. Because there's nothing more powerful than repeating back information to someone you're talking to let them know you're paying attention. If someone tells you the name of their kids, repeating back the name of their kids 2 minutes later in the conversation, that's power. That's showing them that you're paying attention. So it's always good to take notes, and having this in front of you is a good way to keep track of it. So does everybody have one of these? Yeah. Okay, cool. So the very first thing this is all before I even talk to somebody. I find somebody, I want to figure out, do I want to contact them as a customer, or do I want to contact them as a business partner? So that's something you want to figure out right away, because I see a lot of people that they don't really know which route they're going to go down. And there are different routes with it. So you can always fall back to one or the other. If you're trying to approach someone with the business, you can always fall back as a customer. If you approach someone as a customer, you can always fall back as a business partner. But you kind of want to have a clear mindset of like, okay, this person, I know them for this. I want to go after them as a business partner. I want this person in my business. You know what, this person, I want them just to try the product. I know they're unhealthy, I want them to try the product. So we want to be aware of that. I have the little saying, if you could have more health, wealth, or beauty, which would it be? Please do not make this your Facebook status. Seen that happen 2,700 times, and we're all mutual friends. We don't want to make that as a blanket statement. But you can use that as a peak. It's not a bad peak. When you just shoot a message to somebody, that's not a bad way to figure out, okay, they're going to tell me which route to go down. If they say money, I'm going to go down the business route. If they say health, I'm going to go down the nutritional route. If they say beauty, I'm going to go down the skincare route. And then you want to figure out the shark, dolphin, whale, owl. You want to figure out their personality type. So we went over the personality types briefly, and they're in your success packets. And there's different names, but they all stand for the same thing. We all kind of familiar with the personality types? Yes. We know whether it's called a shark, an alligator, whatever it might be. If someone's money-oriented, they're in one group. If they're fun-oriented, they're a dolphin, or they're a peacock, or whatever it might be. We're going to use the dolphin shark. So that's the original. That's the one I grew up and whale? Okay, so I have owl, urchin, same thing. I feel like urchin is like something bad. I don't want to call something. I don't like calling something urchin. So this is stuff that we can figure out through Facebook. So the next thing I have written down is what is relation. You want three angles of relevance. And putting in detective work will help you find this out. Facebook is amazing. I know what somebody that I have never met has had for breakfast. I know what his cat's name is. I know his cousin Tony. I know he went to see Beauty and the Beast last night. Like, I know everything about this person before I even saw it and met him because of his Facebook. Facebook is a huge key, but just use it as detective work. Facebook will tell you 90% of what you need to know about somebody. And that is going to help you find your angles of relevance. And by angles of relevance, I mean if I'm going to try to prospect Brian, I want to find 3 things that we can relate on. 3 things. Now, sometimes you can figure that out before you even reach out to them. If I see he has a Harley Davidson in his pictures, I'm like, oh, nice, I ride too. You know, I know that's a common point. You want to find 3 common points. Sometimes you might only find 2 before you actually contact them, and you have to find the 3rd one within the conversation. Sometimes it's only 1, and you have to find the 2nd and 3rd one through the conversation. But these are things that we want to be conscious of, is you want to relate to somebody. The next point is the first point of contact. I have next to it start with why. Raise your hand if you've seen my why training. Okay, so probably maybe next week I'll do that again. But the why, start with why, is a huge thing I got from Simon Sinek, and it's basically trying to explain to people why I'm doing what I'm doing before I even say what I'm doing. So companies like Apple, their commercials are very, very vague. They don't really talk about their product much. They talk about what their mission is. They talk about why they do something. People think with the limbic brain. They make decisions with the limbic brain, which is the emotional part of your brain. We love somebody because we just feel that way. We can't really explain it. We make decisions before. You ever have a gut feeling? That gut feeling comes from the limbic brain. The neocortex is our logical brain. That's the one that's the part of your brain that tries to make sense of things. You know, I love this person because she's beautiful. Well, there's 1,000 million other beautiful girls in the world. Why this one? I'm just trying to make sense of it. So people make decisions before they even know facts about anything. They just know how they feel. So I want to show some of my values, show some of my mission, before I even get into what I'm doing. That's the same situation as picture you're dating. Everybody in prospect, picture it's dating. If I showed up and rang someone's doorbell and says, hey, I drive a Maserati, make 6 figures a year, I dress real nice, and talks all about myself, about factual things, how well do you think it would go for me getting a date? Not well, right?
Not very well.
But if I rang that doorbell and was like, hey, listen, I love helping people. I have a passion for helping people with their health. I have a passion for helping people with their financial future. And because of that, I've been able to be very successful for myself. And I do that by doing X, Y, and Z. Does that sound better? Yeah. That's me starting with why. That's me telling them why I'm doing it before I actually do it. I know I bounce around. Lisa's trying to fake it.
I was just going to say, you're a pain in the ass to do this.
So, start with what? Direct, indirect, or opinion approach. So we kind of went over those a little bit. Direct approach. Hey, get over here. That's what you use for a friend. You need to see what I saw. You need to hear what I heard. Those are 2 sentences that I very rarely see in people's screenshots. That is just powerful. If you have a good relationship with someone, you need to see what I saw. You need to hear what I heard. Those 2 things will get you your first 2 paychecks every time. Use them. Yep. They're direct. It gets you out of the way. Hey, I'm brand new. I can't repeat it, but you need to hear what I heard. That's how I made my decision. Oh, well, why are you doing this? Well, you need to hear what I heard to understand that. Does that make sense? Yes. Those 2 sentences will get you paid. Reconnect. So, we're always going through our Facebook and trying to figure out who we're going to talk to. You have that friend that you haven't seen in 5, 6, 7 years. You're like, well, what's the first thing? How can I reconnect with this person? How can I message this person? A good thing is, I remember you were always blank, so I wanted to blank. So if I run into somebody on Facebook, I'm like, all right, I want to message this person. I can say, hey, I remember you were always a great leader in sports in high school. So I wanted to reach out to you because I'm looking for leaders right now in my current business project. See how I just did that? I'm using that first blank, I remember, as a compliment. Hey, I remember you were always a winner. I remember you always won. You were always that person that always won in life. Is that how you still are? Of course they're going to say it. I'm looking for winners. I'm looking for people that love to strive to be better. Hey, I remember you were always big with nutrition. So I wanted to reach out to you with my new health product. It's a great way to reconnect with somebody. I see a lot of people reconnecting with people and doing emotional deposits. We want to be friendly with somebody, but I feel disingenuous if I'm having a full-fledged conversation knowing that I have one intention. If I'm going to spend 3 months talking to somebody, go out to coffee 4 times to drop the bomb, then about having a business that I want to get them involved in, they might think, oh man, is this the only reason why he's been talking to me?
Right.
Right? So if I kind of get right to it, I'd rather get a quick no than have a stretched, longed out, disingenuous conversation. That makes sense to everybody?
Yes.
And I feel like they respect that more. Hey, I remember you did this. That's why I'm reaching out to you. Not because I'm just trying to get money from you, not because I'm just trying to sell you my product, because I remember specifically this attribute that relates to what I'm about to ask you. Make sense? Hail Mary. So, a lot of my trainings I talk about my prospecting. So there's two kinds of prospecting I do. There's people that I know, like reconnects and direct approaches, and then there's sometimes it's a Hail Mary. Mr. Rob Pagnago was a Hail Mary from Jules Marquisio. She didn't know him. They were friends on Facebook. And she threw a Hail. That's why I call it Hail Mary. You don't know them at all. They work sometimes. Clearly, she has a diamond-built leg because of that. Just because of one message. One scripted message brought her a boom. 100,000 in volume. I like to use this little one-liner. You popped up in my news feed, and I noticed that blank, so I blank. So a lot of times, this is what I do. This is how I never run out of people. I've been in this for a year, and I contact thousands of people, and I never run out of people because I'll start deleting friends, deleting people on my Facebook that either are negative, haven't want to do what I'm doing, people that I just have no need to be on my Facebook, and I add friend suggestions. As long as they have one or two mutual friends, you're good. You have a reason to friend request them. But I don't friend request them and immediately message them. I friend request them and I let them marinate on my Facebook. I let them see what I'm doing for a week or two. In the process, I'm liking and commenting. I'm interacting with them, so I show that, like, hey, I'm a real person. I'm commenting them. Oh, I saw that movie the other day. That's awesome. They put up a quote, and I do the little emoji hands, like, hey, whatever it might be. Interact. Build a little bit of a connection so they'll notice your face. They'll notice your name. And then one day, find something. Something will pop up. You popped up on my news feed today, and I noticed that you said you hate your job. So I wanted to reach out to you with an opportunity. Hey, you popped up my news feed today, and I noticed you have a migraine. I want to approach you with something to help my migraines. Find something that is going to relate to what we're doing. And it's not that hard. Does that make sense to everybody? Mm-hmm. I love that one-liner because it's a reason. They're not going to be like, hey, do I know you? Or hey, why you messaged me? I just told you. You popped up on my newsfeed. That happens all the time, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to read that and be like, all right, well, I popped up in his newsfeed. Oh, yeah, well, I did say that. Or I did post that picture. Whatever it might be that we're going to relate to. It's a great one-liner for what I call Hail Marys. And Hail Marys are great because you can contact a lot of people real quick with a Hail Mary. Because literally you're just using that one-liner and then getting right to the point. Make sense? The spotlight. Keep the spotlight on your prospect as much as possible. So when you're talking to somebody, if I'm prospecting Lisa right now, I want you to picture us in a dark, pitch black room. Okay? Me and the person I'm prospecting, pitch black room. There's one dangling spotlight in the middle. So it's kind of like the old crime shows, like when they had the spotlight and they put the spotlight on the criminal. That's exactly what prospecting's like. Whoever's talking has a spotlight on them. So if I'm doing a lot of talking during this prospecting situation, where's the spotlight? On me. Where is she? In the pitch black dark. Is that good? No. We don't want to keep her in the dark. That's how we lose people. That's how we show people that we don't care about them. That's how people fall asleep on us. That's how people not become interesting. People don't want to hear what we have to say. People want to talk. So whenever I see people's screenshots and there's like, if it's an iPhone, blue, it's being them, it's like this, and then there's like a tiny sentence, and then there's like another 6 books. Like, don't do that because you're leaving your prospect in the dark. And I want to beat that in people's heads. Think of that. Every time that you're having a conversation, you want to keep the light on the prospect as much as possible. And you do that with questions. We're going to ask questions. People want to talk about themselves. People want to talk about themselves. One of the major questions I ask, whether it's a customer or a business prospect, is what do you do for work? Hey, what do you do for work? Awesome. How long have you been doing that? Or even before that, I say, hey, what are you doing for work? Oh, you're a nurse. Fantastic. How long have you been doing that? 3 months? Oh, wow, you must really like it to be doing it for 3 months. No matter how long they say, I always say you must really like it. Hey, what do you do for work? Oh, you work at Taco Bell? Oh, fantastic. How long have you been doing that? 37 years? Wow, you must really love it. Because when you say that, they're going to say one of two things. They're going to say either, I can't stand it. No, not really. Well, kind of just pays the bills. So right then and there, what do I know?
He's not happy.
They can have change. They're not happy with what they're doing. Or they say, I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. What's that tell me? Don't approach with the fact of, hey, I can get you out of what you're currently doing. Right? Because if someone loves what they're doing, and I say, hey, listen, I can get you completely out of that. Went the wrong way with that one. Right? So that question, that one question makes a big difference. Makes a big difference. Then I move on. So what do you like about it? You're a nurse. You've been doing it for X amount of time. She does like it. What do you like best about it? Oh, you like helping people. Fantastic. I know that. She likes helping people. All right, that's a key point. What do you like least about it? Whatever job it is, what do you like best? What do you like least? Oh, you don't like the hours. Fantastic. So this is where what if, would you comes in. What if I told you I have an opportunity for you to help people, the key thing they like, without working all those hours, the key thing they hate, would that be worth 10 minutes of your time? See how it works? What if, would you? Because right now, they told you how to approach them. They told you exactly what to say. They told you exactly what they're looking for and what they're not looking for. So you know how to word it. If you ask the right questions, you don't have to think, oh man, what do I say? They're going to tell you what to say. Okay? What if, would you? What if I told you I could get A without having B? Would that be worth 15 minutes of your time to evaluate some information? Very, very simple. Do we all get that?
Yeah.
What is the first exposure? So now we've had a little bit of a conversation. I know what they like. I know what they don't like. They're open to information. What do I send them? Right now, we have a bunch of tools in our toolbox. We have testimonials. I built my business off of Guile's story. Raise your hand if you've seen Guile's story. Raise your hand if you haven't seen Guile's story. All right, so I'm going to post Guile's story in our Team Fusion Boston. It is a very impactful video. It's 3 minutes long. It's a story about a little boy named Guile who was 7 years old, a brain tumor, and a girl named Kirsty Medlock who's on our team. And it's an interaction between him and her. It's not a company video. It's not a product video. It's a story between these two people. And it mentions our product and it shows what our product has done for him. But the story in the video is basically her homemade video of them two. It's 3 minutes long, and 99% of the time, I get, why'd you make me cry? That's the response. Thanks for making me cry at work. But it's impactful. Every once in a while, 1 out of 100, I'll get, well, that doesn't look real. That's not somebody I want on my team anyway. That's someone that's negative. But most of the time, it's short and sweet and gets them emotionally engaged enough to watch something longer. Does that make sense? It's like movie trailers. Why do we have movie trailers? We want to get short, impactful, show the good parts. Boom. Now you come watch the movie, the longer movie. Right? But even more importantly, that is saying our why. Hey, watch this. This video that you just watched is why I'm doing what I'm doing. This is now what I'm doing. Now you show them what you're doing. You show them why. You show them the emotion behind it. Now you're showing them why we're doing it. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
There's all kinds of, there's Dr. Edwards, that's an autism video. There's all kinds of different videos out there that I love to shoot out as a peek. Sometimes I'll explain a little bit before I send it. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll be like, hey, I really need you to watch this. I just need you to see this. And they come back, well, that was a very touching story, but what is it? Why did you send me that? Let me tell you. Make sense? We have the webinar. Yes, there is no direct link to the webinar yet. You have to have people go through the couple steps of downloading the app. That's just the way it is. We will eventually get a direct link to the webinar, but right now, have the people download the app. If you build enough value, you could have people jump through 18 steps to get to the information if you show the information is important enough. Okay? We have success stories. There's all kinds of success stories out there. There's David's story. Hannah Smith's story. Any person that's under the age of 25, I'll send Hannah Smith's story to. Hannah Smith's a 19-year-old diamond that's down in the Texas marketplace. She did that in 6 months. It's impactful. And this is the importance of how you present something. So, Hannah Smith's video appeals to teenagers, right? Appeals to younger generation, right? You would think if I said that to an 86-year-old, that it probably wouldn't relate, right? But it's all how I present it. It's all how I present it. If I send Hannah Smith's video to a 50-year-old CEO of a business, most people would be like, well, hey, that's not even close to relating. But if I say, hey, Rob, I know that you have a successful business. I know you've been killing business for the last 30 years. I want to show you a 19-year-old that has established a 6-figure income in 6 months. Imagine what you could do. Right? Now he watches the video and now he thinks about himself. It's all in how I present it. That's what's important. You can use whatever. It doesn't matter which tool it is. If you present it in the right way, it will be relevant. So just keep that in mind. We could have 2 tools and it could work. When we first started, there was very little things to use. Our very first webinar was like, you might as well have Donald Duck doing it. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world. But it worked because of how we presented it. Now, you guys have amazing tools. Our new webinar is amazing. I love it. I love it. It's professional. It's modern. I love it. So we have great things. Product videos. We have both the health triangle video. We have the fluoresce video. We have all kinds of little peeks about fluoresce. There's all kinds of tools we can use. On an overview. Like I uploaded my second half presentation from last Tuesday up on YouTube. So it's 50 minutes long. It's long, but if you have someone that's interested in the business, like really interested in the business and wants to know details, send them the overview. Even if you have to, send Amy Seaver's video if you really have to, and just be like, hey, the prices have dropped since this video, which is even better. So we can use whatever. There's so much out there to use. It's all in how you present it. That's the key thing. KTN, keep them nodding. Keep them nodding. This is something I want everybody to be very conscious of when you're having a conversation with somebody. We aren't in sales, okay? We're in marketing, but life in general has a lot to do with sales. Whether it be I'm trying to get a date from somebody, whether I'm trying to go into a job interview, I'm selling myself, right? There's always some kind of selling being done. And the psychology behind that, keep them nodding. You want to continuously ask questions that you know they're going to say yes to. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
See what I'm doing there? You see what I did, right? If you notice, now you're going to notice even more through the rest of my presentation, I'm always nodding my head. I'm always, hey, the sky's blue, right? Yeah.
Even if it didn't make sense.
I'll just throw that out there every once in a while. The conversation might not be going my way. It might be like completely opposite of what I'm saying. And I'm like, but the sky's blue, right? He's like, well, yeah. Okay. The more you get someone to say yes, the more you get someone to agree with you, the more that they are nodding their head, the better off you're going to be in your conversation. So I will constantly say those words, wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree? The words, wouldn't you agree, does something inside of us that makes us want to say yes. Even if it's something that we might not even know what they're talking about. If someone says, wouldn't you agree? And nods their head, most people are going to say yeah. They might still be confused, but they're going to say yes because that's just psychologically what they want, what that word wants you to do. So if you know, anybody see me do that in the screenshot group? Somebody might come back with the biggest objection ever. You know, well, hey, you know what? I don't need any health care. I don't need any health supplements. And I'll go back. Health is very important to a lot of people. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Yes, it is. They're gonna agree. I just got them to say yes. The more times you get them to say yes, the more ground you're winning. Okay? I want people to be conscious of that. The key benefit. What is the key benefit they need? And what is the key objection that they will have? Two parts that are extremely important to find out throughout the course of your conversation. Sometimes it's going to be crystal clear, other times not so much. But what we are in, our job is needs analysis. We need to figure out what they need. I'm not going to approach my friend with the actual business until I find out that he's struggling to pay for his son's football league. Okay? Because if I just approach my business before I know what he needs, I'm going to look like a salesperson. I'm coming at him with a sales pitch. If I find out through questions that he's having trouble paying for his son's football league, I now become a solution as opposed to a sales pitch. You need to know what they need. I'm not going to approach someone with saying that you need extra source of income if they have 17 sources of income. I'm going to take a different route with that one. Being a good person, I'm not going to push this business on somebody or this product on somebody unless I know what they need. Unless I know what they need in life, right? We're not just here to just sell us. We're here to help people, impact people's lives. We need to find out the key need in their life. That's their why. You want to find out their why. You want to find out if they have kids. You want to find out if they have health problems. You want to find out if they want to retire early, or they want to retire at all, or if they need more time. Or maybe it's not even them. Maybe they have a loved one that they need to take care of. Maybe they have a mother that they want to retire. These are things that we need to know. Because not only is it going to help us communicate with them, but it's just going to let us do our job, because our job isn't just to sell a product. Our job is to impact people's lives. Right. I want to truly impact people's lives. So I need to know how to do that, and each individual person is going to be different. The key objection. Sometimes it's clear, sometimes it's not. Sometimes people won't even tell you their objection, and then you'll just say they're not interested. Most people will walk away when they say they're not interested. Sometimes it takes a tiny bit of digging, and they're not interested because they don't believe they can do it. They might have been let down their whole life and have never been mentored by anybody and don't even know what it is to have help. I need to know that so I can counter it. They might have already done a network marketing company and had a bad experience. I need to know that so I can counter that. Objections are good. We need to see objections as a good thing. Because without objections, we're not going to be able to fix them. So many people that say they're not interested are really interested. But there's an underlying factor there. There's something. There's so many people that I've come out and I've spoken to at the end of a DFY or end of a PBR. They was like, yeah, not really my thing. And 3 minutes of questioning, now it's their thing. Because I figured out what their halt factor was, what's stopping them. And it was something very simple. It was something very simple that without asking questions, you're not going to get out of it. So one of the biggest things I like to do, and I've been doing it recently, is at a DFY, Leandra had 3 guests, and they came out, and I said, okay, fantastic. What do you like best? That's what we do. We'll all heard us say that. But then I say, from 1 to 10, 1 being not at all, to 10 being sign me up right now, where do you see yourself? Oh, you're a 3? Anything above a 3, you should be like, oh, yes. Because anything above a 3 is telling you that they're interested, but there's just objections that you need to overcome. Right. Right? So they say, oh, one of them said there were 5. One of them said there were 5. I think it might have been you. One of them sitting right here. And they go, there are 5. Okay, great. From a 5 to a 10, what could we do to close that gap? Because they're going to tell you. They're going to say, well, I don't believe in this, or I don't know this, or they're going to tell you what is stopping them. Well, I don't think I can do it. Well, we can show them how easy it is and how we can help them do it. But we need to know that. And by just asking that simple 1 to 10, I'm gonna gauge that situation, and they're gonna tell me what I need to do or what we need to say to help them get to a point where they feel comfortable to do it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Same thing with the product. Okay, you've seen the product video, you've seen the skincare video, or you've tried it at the end of a skincare presentation party. 1 to 10. 1, you don't like it whatsoever. 10, I'm going to buy it right now. Where do you see yourself? Oh, 4. Okay, awesome. Well, what can we do to get you to a 10? You know, what was lacking? Oh, you need a couple more days to use it? Okay. Well, we have a money back guarantee. You can try it. It's just going to let you know what situation you're in, where you're at. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes. You need to know what's stopping people. You need to know why they need this business. Because if they truly don't need this business, or they truly don't need this product, I'm not going to just take their money. I'm not in the business of just taking people's money. I don't just sit up at TFYs and say, I'm passionate about seeing everybody's hand go up when they're being impacted by my product. That's not just me saying that. I truly believe that. Yes, I came to Team Fusion in the beginning because I saw a huge financial opportunity. But over the last year, I've collected so many stories. Just seeing Miss Leanna Matthews get up here it empowers me. I love that. I didn't even think she had a vocal cords when I first met her. She was so quiet and shy. Now she's up training in front of people. And I got to be a part of that. I got to help facilitate that. I knew that she had more. Mr. Tyler Morgan, same thing. I knew he had more to give to this world than what this current occupation was allowing him to do. But I needed to know key factors. I needed to know key objections. I needed to know about that person. Does that make sense? We want to ask questions. And then at the end, well, we talked about felt found. At the end, what if would you? Well, you've seen my information. What if I could get you on the phone with a guy that's helped many people get pay for cars, helped many people get extra $300, $400, $500 worth of income, has mentored people to become better people? What if I get you on the phone with them right now? Would that be something of interest to you? What if would you get them to go to the next exposure? Everything we're doing is from exposure to exposure to exposure. We're not closing people. This isn't sales in that aspect that we're hard closing people. Hey, watch the 30-second video. Are you going to sign up? Most people don't sign up till the 5th or 6th or 7th exposure. Next, you watch one video. What can we do next? Can we get you to a 2-on-1? Can we get you on a live webinar? Can we get you to a DFY? Can I get you on a 3-way call? Me and Mr. Tyler Morgan have a great system. He'll be at a PBR. He'll be the leader there, the person that's helping close people, per se. I don't like using the word close, but I'll use it. We all understand what it means. He might not be getting anywhere with them, and he immediately puts me on a 3-way call. So that's like a double 3-way call. Because when the leader's there, a 3-way call can be like in person. We could say like, okay, it's kind of like a 3-way call. And if that didn't work out, if he wasn't getting the information he needed to get from the person, immediately pass them on up. And then I'll immediately pass it all up to Jules, or to David, or to Charles. Just keep putting them in front of information. We just did a presentation with at the owner's house the other day, and I was just like, all right, well, just come hang out. Just come to the next presentation. Oh, you saw the skincare, you should come to one of our PBRs. Just come spend time with us, because it matters to know who you're doing business with, right? I just want people to be around us. Because I know deep down in my heart, if someone's around us long enough, they will know we're genuine. They will know what our mission is. And that's what it comes down to most of the time, because people just don't believe anything anymore. People just think everybody's trying out to get them, everybody's trying to sell them stuff they don't need, everybody's just trying to go after money, because that's what they're used to in the global world. So if you just keep them around us, keep them coming to check out information, keep them hanging. If we go play pool, come play pool with us. I don't care if you're not on the team, just come hang out with us. Keep them around the fire. Does that make sense to everybody? Exposure to exposure. And at the very bottom it says, they need me, I'm a professional, and I have the value. I want everybody to beat that into their head. They need me, I'm a professional, I'm the one of value. When they say no, they're not saying no to you, they're saying no to the product or the opportunity. It's not a rejection of your character. You can't look at it like that. When you look at it as you're getting rejected, that's when people get discouraged. Right. It's not you. They might just not want a supplement. That's not showing that you're a bad person. That's not showing that you're not good at what you do. I'm just showing people opportunities. They're saying no to the opportunity, not to me.
I'm the professional. As a professional, I'm going to just go down the line and see who needs my services. See who needs my assistance in life. Maybe they own Walmart or Target. Maybe they don't need our extra money. I'm going to find the people that do. And as a professional, that's what I'm going to do. And I know they need me. I know a lot of the people that say no, and that maybe are negative or even mean. We've all come across mean people. They're the ones that need us. I have my friend being like, shit, I don't need that little thing. He works at Domino's. And nothing against Domino's, but like, maybe there's a more path to a better financial future. But he's the one that's being the most negative. So just remember that they need us. We're the person that has the thing of value, not them. We have the thing of value that we're offering. We're being nice and trying to offer. Do you want more help? Do you want something that I know is going to make you feel good? Whether it gives somebody an effect or not, people are like, well, I didn't feel anything. Well, it's not crack. You're not going to feel like, oh, I just smoked meth and now I'm all over the place. It's not, it's food, it's nutrition. It's nutrition that you should be getting, proper nutrition. It's not meant to make you just jump and bounce off the walls. It's meant to make our body run good. When you put good, clean oil in your car, does your car do magical things? Or does it run the way it's supposed to? And you don't notice that it's not running the way it's supposed to until the oil's bad, right? Same thing with our product. So remind people that just because they might not feel some kind of crazy effect, it's good, clean oil. It should be in their body anyway. Right?
Yeah.
So does this make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Now, sometimes these things can be interchangeable. I try to put it as much as a flow of a conversation as possible, but sometimes you can bounce around. Again, this was my first draft. I might go over it, but did everybody get a little bit from this?
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. So I'm going to bring back up Miss Leandra Matthews to go over that social media training that we were talking about. Can we all give a round of applause to Miss Leandra Matthews?